Hello students, welcome back to today's video class. As we have already completed our chapter linear equations and inequations, today I am going to start your new chapter, the second chapter that will come in your unit test 4, that is chapter number 15, circles. As we have already studied the basic things of circle, like definitions, the parts of a circle, etc. So again I am going to discuss with you about these things in today's video. After that we will start the exercise number 15. There is only one exercise. Okay, so let us start with the chapter. The circle. As you know, circle by definition, if you say circle is a round figure bounded by curved line. The simple definition of circle, that is, circle is a round figure bounded by curved line, or we can say a circle is a set of all those points in a plane. Each of these points are equidistant from a fixed point. What is that point? It does, if we draw a circle like this, so this, if take this point as O, then all set of points lying on this curved line are equidistant from the center. All these points are equidistant from the center. Okay, so all these points A, B, C, D, E, F, G and so on. There will be infinite number of points, and each of all these set of points are equidistant from this fixed point O. Then it is called a circle. Obviously it is a plane figure. Always we have to remember, a circle is a plane figure. It is not three-dimensional figure, it is a plane figure. Now one by one we will see the parts of this circle. First of all, this fixed point from which all the set of points lying on this circle is called the center. Here O is the center of the circle. O is the center of a circle. After that, all those, the distance between the center and this circumference, that is OA, or you can say OB or OC and so on, are radii of the circle. It is the plural of radius. The singular term of radii is radius and is represented by r, small r. Small r represents the radius. Okay, and the plural of radius is radii. Okay, next is the portion inside. After this is the circumference, the outer boundary of this circle. This is called boundary or circumference of the circle. This is called boundary or circumference of the circle. Okay, now the region inside the circumference of a circle, that this portion is called interior. This is called interior of the circle. Okay, and the region outside the circle, they are called exterior of the circle. Okay, interior and exterior. After that, the circular region, that is called circumference, I told you. Now, the straight line which can be drawn, this straight line that passes through the center of the circle and touches any 2 points on the circumference of the circle, this is called diameter. This is called diameter. So if we draw another circle like this, here is the center. So it is the, if I write, this is A, B and center O. So here AB is the diameter. It is called diameter. And this diameter can be divided into two radii. So this one is R and this one is R. So diameter is represented by small d. The relation between this radius and diameter is small d is equal to twice of radius. It is diameter is equal to twice of radius, or radius is equal to diameter by 2, means this radius is the half of the diameter of a circle. Okay. Now there are so many other points that we have to see here. So we will see the another diagram here. If I draw like a line like this, it's called, if I take CD, so CD, here CD is called chord. It is called, CD is the line joining the 2 points, any 2 points on the circumference of a circle in the interior of the circle is called chord of the circle. And then AB is also a chord. Yes, AB is also a chord. AB is also a diameter. So we can say that diameter is the longest chord of a circle. So we can say diameter is the longest chord. Okay, diameter is also called longest chord of the circle. Okay, so these are the small representation parts of the circle that we should know. Then another main part of this is the, I must draw it again. Now I will draw another circle. Okay, this is a circle. Now I've told you, so this is the radius, this one is the another radius. Suppose it is A and B. So the region between these two radii, these regions, it is called sector, and the part of the circle, circumference of a circle is called arc. It is called arc AB. It is called arc AB. What is arc? What is an arc? Arc is a small part of the circumference of the circle. Okay, arc. And the region formed by this arc and the two radii, this portion is called minor sector. This is called minor sector, and this region is called major sector. Okay. Now another circle I will draw here. This is the center O. If I draw a chord like this, AB, if AB is a chord here, and that this chord divides the circle into two parts, each part, this part, here this part is called, the smaller part is called minor segment. Okay, and this is called major segment. This is called major segment. So these are the important part of things that we should know. Okay. Now another thing, that diameter also divide the circle into two parts, and each part is called the semicircle. Here, one thing, diameter divides the circle into two parts, or we can say into two half circles. Each half circle is called semicircle. Each half circle is called semicircle. Okay. Now, some another parts of the circle we should go through that. That another is the secant and the tangent. That's what is secant and the tangent. Okay. Now again a circle I will draw. Okay, this is the center. A line drawn like this, a line passing from a circle and cuts the circle in two distinct points. Then the line is called secant. Here if I take this XY line cuts the circumference of the circle at 2 points, distinct points A and B, then XY is called, here XY is called the secant. It is called secant. Okay. Now in the same figure I am going to draw. If a line drawn in such a way that it just touches or passes through a single point on the circumference of a circle. If I take it is suppose PQ and it cuts at R, we can say. So here PQ is called the tangent. It is called tangent. So tangent is the line which meets the circle in one and only one point. A line which touches the circle one and only one point on the circumference is called the tangent of a circle, and the line which passes through which touches the circle into two distinct points, that means if you extend a chord on both sides, it forms a secant. Okay. Now some properties are also there of tangent and the radius. I will discuss with you later, but one thing I want to explain is called, I was saying that about the arc. If I say if I take a circle like this, when you take a simple portion of the circumference like AB, this portion is called arc AB, and this arc is the minor arc. It is the minor arc, and the rest of the portion is called the major arc. So it is called major arc. Okay, and this is the minor arc. Okay. So I have discussed with you the arcs, circumference, semicircle, minor arc, minor sector, major sector, minor segment, major segment, center chord, relation between radius and the diameter. Diameter is the longest chord of a circle. All those basic things that you should know regarding the chapter, this circle that I have told you. If I miss anything, I will when I will do the exercise and explain you how to solve the sums, I will explain those things also. Okay, so basic things that we should know about the circle that I have taught you in this video is I think this is the enough now. Now I am going to give you some important relations that we have to use in this chapter to solve these sums. That is the relation, first one is the relation between the radius and the tangent. Okay, the relation between radius and the tangent. They are called tangent properties also. In your class 10 you will learn about these things, so many properties of circle and theorems. Okay, so if I take a tangent like this which touches the circle at a single point. Okay, so if I take it is the point AB is a tangent and P is the point at which the tangent touches the circumference of the circle. Now if you join this P to O, what relation you will get? The tangents are always perpendicular to the radius of a circle at the point of contact. That means this radius and this tangent will be perpendicular to each other at this point of contact. So it is called the radius of a circle is always perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. So we can say radius of a circle is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. Okay, so we can say OP is perpendicular to AB. We can say OP is perpendicular to AB. So this is the one theorem. Another relation between the tangent is that if you take a circle, this is the center O. Sometimes center is also represented by the letter C, but I am taking the center O. Okay. Now, if you take a point P outside this circle, okay, outside this means if P is the exterior point on this of this circle, then if you draw two tangents to this circle, if you draw two tangents to this point P, okay, so these are the two points of contact. One, if you take, it is A and another is the B. Then the theorem says the tangents drawn from exterior point of a circle are equal in length. So what we say? The tangents drawn from an exterior point of a circle are equal in length. Okay, that means we say that AP here, AP is equal to BP. According to this theorem, this AP is equal to this BP. So this AP and BP are equal to each other. Okay, you can prove these things by using the congruency that still you have not studied. We'll study in your triangles chapter. Okay, so we can say so there are another few points that you should remember, that one and only one tangent can be drawn at a circle at a point of a circum. Means if you take any point on the circumference, on that point only one and only one tangent can be drawn, and two tangents can be drawn from an exterior point, and those two tangents will be of equal length, that you can say AP is equal to BP. Okay, now another property of the circle is that we have that angle in a semicircle, that is called angles in a semicircle. Angles in a semicircle formed by the diameter at any point on the circumference is always 90 degree. That means what does it mean? That means if you take a circle, okay, if you take a circle like this and draw a diameter, suppose diameter is AB, O is the center. Now with taking AB as a base, if we draw an angle on any part of this circle, means in the upper part or in the lower part, means upper semicircle or in the lower semicircle, whatever angle we have to do, draw, wherever you can draw this angle. Suppose this is C, so here angle ACB is always equals to 90 degree. It is the property that where we have to say that angles in a semicircle are right angle. So it is this also property is also called angle in a semicircle is right angle. Right angle means that measures 90 degree. The property is also called angles in a semicircle is a right angle. So these are the three properties that we have to use while doing this the exercise of this chapter circle. There are only one exercise. Today in this video I am not going to start the exercise because just today I have just explained you the basic things regarding this chapter. Watch the video properly and get understand it first. Once you understand the basic things, then it will be easy for you to understand the maths related to this chapter. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Thank you very much, and if you get any doubts in this, you can ask me in your online classes, or you can text me also in my WhatsApp. Okay, thank you very much.